What's up internet, welcome to Mo's Garage. In today's video we're replacing the spark plugs on this 2020 Toyota Corolla. Alright guys, so to replace the spark plugs on this Toyota, it's not too difficult, but as always when working with electronics you want to go ahead and disconnect the negative cable of the battery. So this right here is just a 12mm, and then we can go ahead and lift this bad boy up and get this guy out of the way. Alright guys, so now that we have the negative cable of the battery disconnected, what we want to do is we want to come over here, and there's a clip right here that you need to unclip. Now the next thing is to go ahead and remove the coil pack using a 10mm socket. And then we can go ahead and remove the coil pack. Alright guys, so to remove the spark plug from the motor, you're going to need a deep socket 14mm with an extension. Just go ahead and go in there. And then just remove it from the vehicle. Now since I'm using a regular 14mm socket and not a spark plug socket, when I pull out the socket, the spark plug will not come with it. But then what you can do is you can just reach in there with a magnet and pull it out. Alright guys, so now that we have the old spark plug out, what you want to do is you just want to make sure that this is similar to the old one. Now if we look at the part numbers on this spark plug, these are both the exact same ones, so we know that these will work. Normally what you want to do is you want to make sure that the gap on this is set correctly, but in this particular case these are already gapped from the factory, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip that step, and I'm going to go ahead and install it on the vehicle. Alright guys, so now to get the new spark plug into the engine, since I don't have a spark plug socket, I'm just going to go ahead and drop it into the hole and then tighten it with the socket. Once we have the spark plug socket in there nice and tight by hand, we're going to go ahead and torque it to about 15 foot-pounds. Alright, so I can feel my torque wrench stopping, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. Alright guys, so now it's time to go ahead and reinstall the coil plug. Now before I install this, I like to add some dielectric grease at the end, and also a little bit on the inside. Then I also like to add it down here. And all this does is it helps to keep the coil pack from sticking to the motor or to the spark plug so that it comes out nice and easy the next time. Alright, now let's go ahead and put back our 10mm bolt. Alright, so now we just want to go ahead and tighten this 10mm bolt just by hand. You don't want to over tighten it because then you might break it. And then once you're done, you just go ahead and reinstall the harness. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it. Now you just repeat the same process that you did to the first one to the last three, and you should be done in about 10 minutes.